Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Zell here, and today I want to talk a little bit about the Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia instead of just doing my regular pool plans and everything. I feel like I want to discuss some aspects and factors in the game that I see people are asking lately. So first of all, I want to talk about is Zell, his rotation during his LD, how to get the maximize free turns and skills and everything on how to use him properly. So Zell is relatively simple. His skill 1 gains a free turn while his skill 2 doesn't during their base form. So using them gives him his dual buff. As you can see that this changes both of his skill to Burning Wraith and Meteor Barret. So the idea here is actually to utilize the idea of free turns from his skill 1 in base form to fully utilize his turn manipulation during his LD form. So Zell's LD maximum duel actually provides a 4-turn LD buff, which will be stacked up every time he takes an action until the 4th turn, which will transform his LD into my final heaven, which is his ultimate attack. So the idea here is to actually enter the LD phase only when his dual buff is active. This way you can only use Meteor Barret or Burning Wraith, either one, to re-break and gain the free turn. And from there you want to use his skill 1 again to gain the free turn, because he won't be gaining another free turn from the second re-break. And from there you can just use Meteor Barret and Burning Wraith again to gain another free turn, and then this cycle will be repeated until my final heaven. So if you want to extend Zell's longevity, you only want to use his EX while his dual buff is active, because during his base form, his skill count doesn't decrease when using his skill 1 or skill 2. It only decreases after you use it during his dual buff is active, which is Burning Wraith or Meteor Barret. Alternatively, you can also opt to use his Bravery and HP attack, which also transform while his dual buff is active. That way you can actually save more of his skill by using the dual buff skills on his Bravery and HP attack. Okay, so before we move on to Aphmau's LD, I want to talk about how I feel about the early release of her LD in this banner. I honestly don't have much particular dislike on it, mainly also because I don't spend a lot of tickets to get her kit. I think the part where people are upset about it is because they wanted to skip for Zidane's banner, and this one is like telling them not to skip and everything. But it's like, if you're gonna pull Aphmau later, it's not really a big issue of getting her now, and I think it's quite okay-ish for me because we might be getting something even better later. So it's entirely debatable, and her kit itself is not really that game-changing, so I won't recommend saying that you must pull her or something like that. But she's definitely a very fun unit to play with, and I have been using her since Chaos. And if you realize that from my video, I sometimes run her from time to time in Lithuania because I just really like using her. Alright, so let's move on to her LD. Aphmau herself provides 3 frame buff, so it's quite hard to pair her up with a right unit because she used up all the buff slot herself. She used 3, and then she add 1 more for her LD buff, so basically you can only use unit that provides no more than 2 potent buff. So in this case, Aphmau's composition is quite limited. If you're not using her correctly, you might actually seeing that she's not performing well enough with her even with her LD, she's not swapping up. And her LD is quite unique. The buff applies on both her and the ally. In this case, you don't want to use allies that has a lot of free skills or free turns, because by using so, Aphmau LD will be burned through very easily, sort of like Tifa. And her LD is actually quite unique, like how it works. Like for example, if I swap her turn with Tifa and I use Tifa's free turns, like for example Punch Rush, you can see in my video here, and yet the free turns doesn't apply. So this works kinda like Elnach or Realm's Warp, I think, because no matter if you use the additional ability, their turn is still over. So in this case, Tifa's turn will just go through even if she use Battle Cry, which will be her free skill, 3 turns. But unlike Elnach and Realm's Warp though, if she uses her call here, then her turn is still there. Like if Elnach's case, if you use a call during his warp turn, then you'll realize that his turn will be cut off instantly, like he's taking a turn. So this is quite unique, and I already tried before changing my support during her her warp here, but apparently the support is still 5 turns, not 6 turns, so that part is kind of disappointing honestly, but it's okay. Alright, so moving on to Aphmau's LD ability, like who she pairs really well with and who she doesn't. For example here, Xdev is actually a pretty well pairing with her, considering the fact that he doesn't have more than 2 potent buff himself, so this way, because with Aphmau's 4 turn buff, he won't be hindering any of her buff. Core himself can be paired with Aphmau, but his skills cannot be applied on her because she herself has a full 6 buff. So in that sense, if you want to run her with Core, that means that Core has to only use his protection on the 3rd party member instead of Aphmau herself. So of course I tried to pair her with Squall, and although Squall only has 2 potent frame buff, he also has 2 other buff which helps in his attack and max bravery from his friend Dicussion. That is not frame, so if using him with Aphmau will actually remove all of those buffs, and it's not too big of a problem, but you might not be getting big numbers from Squall in that case. So yeah, you might need to be careful on using her because some potent buff is also not frame, so in that case she might be hindering the buff itself more than you expected it to. Yeah. So like I said, the worst pairing of her is with Turnhogger, so you don't want to pair her with Lightning, with Tifa, or with Tidus, or even with Zell. If you do that, you will see that they'll burn through their LD buff a lot faster than she can get her turn. So yeah, so what I would recommend is pairing her with units that can deal really big damage or really good utility on their turn but doesn't get free turns very often. For example, Vaughn, and maybe in the future we'll get Zidane, which is really good as well, which is perfect combination with her, which I'm really looking forward to. So in that sense, yeah, Aphmau will be usable more with units like those. So next we'll be talking about my pull plans on Zidane's banner. I won't be doing the usual speed explanation on why I want to pull them, because for this banner I want to pull all of them. I want Zidane, I want Sync, and I want Zidane of course. Okay, so as to why I want them, I'll just explain like really as fast as I can. So Zidane provides a lot of utility in his BT as well as his LD. He also provides turn dilation, which is really great for me to run zero boss turn. So yeah, I will be definitely wanting to get him, and if I get his BT, I will definitely green him. If I don't, then I'll put my green in Y'shtola, or maybe I'll just skip it altogether. So that's my pull plan for Zidane, and I already have Rinoa, Beatrix, and of course Y'shtola, so I won't be touching any of those. And I'll be bluing Rinoa as well, her armor, because favorites. I don't care about what kind of rework or LD board she get. I will just blue her instantly. Alright, so next will be Sync, and yes, I will be pulling for her as well. I really like her kit. I like the delay, I like the damage and everything, and I think she passed really well with Aphmau as well, because Aphmau swapping her in and then she can delay, and Sync has relatively low speed. So in this case, I'll really like the combo between the two of them. So yeah, I'll be pulling for Sync as well. And lastly, of course, Zidane. Yes, I'll be pulling for him, and surprisingly, he's actually my least priority among these banners. His launches is definitely something not to be overlooked at, and I'll definitely want that because I pull Aphmau also mainly because I want Zidane to work with him, work with her. So yeah, I'm hoping that in that case I can see more of this combo. until Selfie, that is, and Selfie definitely is an instant blue, instant pity character for me. So yeah, that's my plan for Zidane's banner, and hopefully we'll be getting a really good character in replacement of Aphmau LD. That way I can also try to pull it, and hopefully from all these pulls I can get Zidane's banner, Zidane's BT. Okay, so that's my overall idea before we enter the BT Plus era, and my first green is definitely, like I said, I'm gonna try getting Zidane's BT. If I get it, he'll get my green definitely. If I don't get it, then maybe I'll put my idea on Ishtola. And my next green will definitely be Bards. I don't really care about whether I get Ace BT, so Bards will definitely get my resources, and then we'll move on to, I'll just save until Twins because I don't really care about Cloud of Darkness or VIII. Yeah, so that's currently my BT Plus plan. Plans can be changed, right? So that's what I'm anticipating right now. I'm not sure whether I'll change it. Maybe I'll change depending on what kind of situation I'm in myself during that time. So yeah, let me know what your plan is in the comments below, and we'll discuss about it. Alright, so that's it for my video today, and it's kind of fun actually doing this kind of small discussion from time to time and to explain the kit of a relatively new and complicated characters. I hope you enjoy it, and leave a like as well as subscribe to my channel if you want more content like this. Thank you again very much, and I'll see you guys soon, and good luck on your BT Plus banner, and good luck on Zidane's.